Several days after vendors were displaced by City Hall from the Stabroek Square and its environs, workers commenced at the location that is to serve as their temporary relocation spot. The move, according to Town Clerk Royston King, is to make way for a more welcoming, orderly and safe capital city.
We've said to them that we want them to have a certain standard. So we are preparing this ground at a certain standard, and then we will do the collapsible tents, and then we will relocate the vendors here. This is just a temporary arrangement. We're working towards finding a more permanent solution, but at the moment this is temporary. It's going to go for about 3 months.
The town clerk assures that the move is a temporary one with a plan to find a more permanent location for the vendors after 3 months. The vendors seem to be confused as to what is going to happen with the location that they used to be at. What is going to happen?
They will not be returned to that location. That particular location, as I said, the Stabroek Square is very iconic. It is rich in history. We want to allow the emergence of a new kind of energy to come forth from there. We're thinking about doing it in a way that would allow people to be able to sit, to relax, and to think, like we have the Piccadilly Square, like we had Tenement Square. I believe Ghana needs to have a square, Georgetown needs to have a square, and so we're using Stabroek Square for that purpose.
When asked if the decision to remove the vendors was one made in isolation by himself and Mayor Patricia Chase Green, this was King's response.
This is purely a city administrative matter, and all that we're doing is executing our duties under the law, the Municipal District Councils Act, Chapter 2801. Even if the council didn't give me permission, and that is not the case, but even if the council didn't give me permission, I will still have the obligation under the law to secure the integrity of the city. This is exactly what I'm doing. I'm enforcing the regulations. You are selling on the road is an offense under the law, and all that I'm doing is enforcing that regulation. We have to be able to raise our standards, and we have to be able to live in an environment that is clean, that is healthy, and that is safe.
On the subject of insufficient space at the Hatfield Street location to house all the displaced vendors, the town clerk told Nightly News that some of the vendors already have stalls provided by the municipality in marketplaces, but opt to vend on the roadway illegally. He emphasized that this will no longer be tolerated.
We're asking them to return to those stalls. We've given them a certain time, failing which we will repossess the stalls and reallocate the stalls to people who really need the stalls. Part of the reason why we have the congestion on our pavements is because people who are legitimate stall holders are using their stalls as storage bonds and coming out onto the pavement to do business. It is wrong, it is selfish, it is unacceptable, and we will not allow it. It has to stop, and we're putting an end to it now.
Mondale Smith, HGP Nightly News.